This wave right here just happens to be one of the most famous waves in Japan.
See what we got here. Oh, MLB, Malibu.
Oh, come on, windy and flat. Right. Okie dokie. Yeah, big deep ocean. This is south down this way. Down there, that's north, up that way. So any big south swell that pushes up the coast here. Ohno Ken-ichi-san has lived in town his whole life, and he's which is called Brave Surf, and is now run by Shunsuke-san. Oh, I like that pink stuff. That's awesome. Woo! Title, and there was head high to double overhead barrels coming through, and they were both pulling into waves and surfing out of their skin. So it is called Malibu Point, and that's very close to it's right in front of that. Also, if your ability is not good enough, don't paddle out, which means if you
Malibu local brothers, notice we lynch the man who is flirting with sweet girl.
Oh, man. Surf time. Quick. Whoa. Right, check that surf. Check that surf. Here we go. What's it doing? What's it doing? Oh, no, come on. Windy and flat. Windy and flat? Are you kidding me? No way. Disappointments. Windy and flat? Have to have a think of what we're going to do today.
Okay, hat. Two dogs, Quicksilver Pro, Aquatech, ASP. What we got here? Oh, MLB, Malibu. That's the one. Oh, that reminds me.
Sorry, yes, I'm brushing my teeth. Don't worry about it. I'm heading that way now. Wow, 48, and she's still on at me about brushing the teeth. Are you kidding me? Right. What? Did you go shopping? Are you kidding me? Like, there was one toothpaste in here yesterday. Like Japanese, I don't know, something or other. Colgate Dare to Love. Pearl Drops Instant Boot. No. What happened to the regular green stuff? Oh, like, how can things be so complicated? Whoa, let's get this done. Oh well, let's go for this pink stuff, Colgate. All right, let's get this on there. Oh my God. Holy mollies, are you kidding me? Look at that tub. What is that in there? That's nuts. Whoa. Right, here we go. Oh, I like that pink stuff. That's awesome. Woo! That is epic. Wow.
All right, what to wear? Quicksilver Pro, Maui Pro, Railblazer, Quicksilver Pro White. Choices. Quicksilver Pro, Quicksilver Japan. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's the look, the hat. Quicksilver Pro. Oh, Japan. Loving a bit of surf history in Japan. Hey, do you guys know any surf history about Japan? Oh, anyone interested? Malibu. One of my favorite local breaks near to Splash. Let me give you some little history. Right then, what do we need? One of those. Up here. That. And this. There we go. Right. Okie dokie. Right, you guys. Right. Okie dokie. So, a little bit of surf history for you, Japan. Do you know Malibu? The wave Malibu. It's in a place called Katsuura Bay. Yeah, this wave right here. Check it out. Look at that thing. There's like one guy out here, and look at the barrel on that thing, and ooh, pretty rainbow. Yeah. This wave right here
Just happens to be one of the most famous waves in Japan. Awesome.
Right, Malibu, 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 Malibu. Okay. Oh. Katsuura Bay. Oh yeah. Okay, Katsuura Bay, Malibu, Malibu. There we go. What's this one over here? Core Malibu. Mago Malibu. I gotta love Malibu. All right, folks, so you just saw that pretty map with all the pretty pictures and stuff like that, but check this thing out down here. This is the real deal. This is an oceanography map, the same ones as the big boats have to have, and if you come sailing around Japan, but check it out. Shoo! So this thing right here is a view of Katsuura area, marine area, and so just give you a breakdown of it. What we've got up this end, sort of Hebra Beach is just up there somewhere. Then here you have Katsuura Bay itself, and then the three bays of beauty, which you have Ubera, Moria, or Kitsu, and then a place called Namigawa 1, this area here. And we're just going to show you on here Katsuura Bay and why Katsuura, the wave itself, is so good. So basically, you know, big deep ocean. This is south down this way, down there, that's north, up that way. So any big south swell that comes, pushes up the coastline, basically pushes into Malibu, which is epic. And then you'll see this is all nice and deep water, in the sort of, you know, like 70 meters out here, dropping into 20 through the bay. And because this is a giant fisherman's wharf over here, this whole part of the bay is really deep, and so you've got this big surge of water coming into the bay out of very deep water and then into shallower water, but it's still deep in the bay, so obviously it doesn't break out here and dissipates its energy. And as it rolls into Malibu, finally it hits the reef and you know, starts to break. So you'll see here it goes from sort of 10 meters and then up to where the actual reef itself gets shallow is 3 meters just here. And this little part of the reef just there, you see there, sticking out, that's what makes the right hand point of Malibu work so well. So if you imagine that south swell coming in here, and then basically the reef, the wave running off to the right there. So that's just basically a quick look at my marine map of Malibu in Katsuura Bay. How cool is that? So those were the maps, but what I want to talk to you about now is, when I grabbed this hat this morning, the MLB, is a little bit about Malibu, the wave itself, and its history. Now there's a local guy in town that Mr. Ohno Ken-ichi, you can see it written here. Ohno Ken-ichi-san has lived in town his whole life, and he's put these amazing files and folders together that sort of goes through the history of Malibu and Katsuura, and he has a fantastic Facebook which you should check out. I think it's there, just Ohno Ken-ichi, and he often posts these old photos of the area. And I would just want to show you these files and folders and try and give you a better perspective on Malibu, the wave itself. It truly is amazing. I'm going to bring up some little videos and whatnots of Malibu in just here for you whilst I do this. But let's just talk about the wave itself first before I show you those. So what type of wave is Malibu? Well, Malibu is this amazing right-hand reef break. It's known as being one of the best in Japan for sure, and it probably gets that title because it's only an hour and a half from Tokyo, and when you've got a city of 44 million people and one of the, you know, a great wave close to it, it's gonna obviously get that title for sure. Its probably biggest moment on the world stage up until now was the 2005 Quicksilver Pro final between Kelly Slater and Andy.
that competition was due to be held at Hebra, but because there was such a massive typhoon approaching Japan, the waves were out of control and everything was closing out at Hebra. So they moved it to the backup site, which was Malibu in Katsuura. And the final between those guys was totally like epic. They were at the height of their kind of battling with each other back then, and they both made it to the final. Andy was wearing his Japanese army war flag board shorts. Kelly was really high up they were both battling out for the world title, and there was head high to double overhead barrels coming through, and they were both pulling into waves and surfing out of their skin. So it was just an amazing, awesome competition. The locals got behind it, Japan got behind it, and the ASP back then, which is now the WSL, they totally got behind it as well. So it was just it was an epic competition, but really sort of stamped Malibu on the world map as being a surf break. And if you look at things like Surfline now, Magic Seaweed, all those sorts of things, it's well known, and that's why a lot of foreigners, when they come to Japan and they find Splash, they say, I want to go and surf Malibu, because I saw Andy and Kelly doing it. So a lot of people ask me, next question is, can I surf Malibu? Am I allowed to surf Malibu? And my answer to that is always, of course, but you must play by the rules and you must respect the locals. In town, we have two amazing surf shops. We have probably the oldest, which is called Brave Surf, and is now run by Shinsuke-san, the owner. And he's kind of second generation owner of the shop. His uncle ran it before then, and he's in Japan, and that shop itself specifically is known as being one of the most respected shops in Japan. The other shop is called Malibu Point, and that's very close to it's right in front of Malibu, although tucked behind it, and that's run by a guy called Michihiro Takanashi and his family. And again, he's a local gentleman that's lived in the town his whole life, multiple generations. And between them, they try and manage the surfing and the surf breaks, not just that break, and with the other marine community. I'm lucky enough to be a part of that. And if things start to get out of control, then they post things on Facebook or send out messages, or just sort of tell other locals and disseminate that information within the surf break. But of course, when you come, anyone can surf it, but you just got to play by the rules. And what are the rules? Well, the rules are, of course, that don't paddle out on surfboards that aren't the right board for that condition. So if it's triple overhead and cranking, then probably not best to go out on a longboard. Probably leave it to the guys that are high performance shortboarders. Also, if your ability is not good enough, don't paddle out, which means if you can't catch the waves competently and safely, then just stick off to the sides. There's other breaks in Malibu for you to do that, like Coral Malibu and Magu Malibu. And of course, number one, and first and foremost, respect the locals. And that means that because it's a point break, reef break, that guys can sit out the back waiting for those set waves, and if those set waves come through and those guys take off on them, those guys get first dibs, first and foremost. Simple as that. Apart from that, there's tons of waves that often go through unridden, or guys don't make sections, and it's kind of fun to sit on the inside and snag those little corners. But generally, it's a great, fun environment out there, but just play by the rules. I'm lucky enough to live right next door to it. It's only literally a 2-minute drive for me. I've surfed it for about 15 years, and I'm blessed now that I'm able to take my son Ralph out there and surf with him, which is amazing. And it's really in the last year that I've been able to do that, and I've started to see him get those middle-sized set waves. He loves the left because he's goofy, so there's not much competition on that one. The rights are pretty competitive, so it's great to see him out there with some of the other kids enjoying it on smaller days. But let's get back to this this hat and these files. All right, folks, volume 1, volume 2. Let's start off with volume 1. So, The Legend of Malibu. I won't spend too long. If you want to know more information about these, just leave comments below, and I might be able to take photos of certain pages and send them to you if you want to. But check it out. This is Japanese history, surfing history at its finest. So Malibu's changed a lot over the years. This here used to be right on the beach, and it used to be the Malibu Surf family little surf shed. And look, obviously they're having competitions there with the prizes and things like that. So before the Malibu that we know now, that has this road deck that goes over the top, Malibu used to have, it was just an open beach, and used to have these, look at that cool surf shack. So it's a very different place now. So Malibu, let's keep going through, and here we go. Look, MLB, check this out. Malibu local brothers, notice, we lynch the man who is flirting with sweet girl, thwarting our surfing, or dumping rubbish on the beach. Like, how cool is that? Flirting with sweet girl. God, could you imagine being back here and being a foreigner and turning up and flirting with the sweet girl? Oh, be careful. Awesome. But back then, and this is how many years ago? 40, 50 years ago, they're dealing with the same problems that we're dealing with now, which is, rubbish. They were obviously doing beach cleans, things like that. This one is obviously, the community and how when local famous surfers died, there was a lot of respect. These club activities that we still do today. Brave Surf and Shinsuke runs his own competitions. Malibu, they're running stand-up paddleboard competitions. Here, this is something that still exists today that everyone notices when they come. In front of Core Malibu, there is this giant wall that's a car parking for the local hotel buses, and there was this amazing artist that did this whale painting on the wall, although now it's slightly faded, and a lot of people are trying to get enough money together to sort of get that, or they'd like to get that repainted, because it'd be sad to lose that over the years. Some of the local Chiba surf press, the life-saving clubs, even this "Join Us Before It's Too Late" t-shirt. How cool is that? You can see here, this just goes into Malibu and a little bit about the life-saving. Fortunately, my son, if you watch some of our other videos, Ralph, he's in Katsuura Lifesaving Association now, and he's been training as a lifeguard for many, many years. And I feel blessed that he's had that experience, and that's helped him with all those ocean skills over the years as well. Let's keep flicking through here. I mean, this is just so well documented. Surfs Up first Malibu Championship. And as you can see here, this is, if you look, this is the railings here from the road deck. So this was after the road deck of the famous road deck of Malibu had been put in. There's a lot of familiar faces in that photo, although everyone a little bit old nowadays. Yeah, keep skimming through. Some very famous people, locals. You'll need to get to know them yourselves. So there we go. There's a picture of Malibu before the road deck went in, which is very cool. So the road deck, a lot of people asked, did the road deck change the wave and make a difference? And yes, of course it did.
So predominantly now on super high tides, Malibu can get backwash in the wave, unless it's way big enough to sort of deal with that. When it's smaller, you need to look to be out there when it's, you know, mid to low tide, is when it works the best. But of course, when typhoons come, all that goes out the window. So let's keep going through here. There we go. Look, here we go. There's the Quicksilver Pro. There's Kelly himself on one of the waves. How awesome is that? The Malibu local brothers. We have Private Beach, Malibu and Matsubai, Katsuura Bay Surf Family. Some of the stickers that used to be distributed and shared with each other. Super amazing. Can't turn the page. Let's have a look. Some really cool old photos. Happy New Year photos. Look at this, Malibu. 9 out of 10 surfers prefer the Malibu surfboard. And it's back in the day when, you know, everyone was riding longboards. How cool is that? I'm sure everyone around the world has all these amazing stories about their own surf breaks, and I'm interested to hear if I know in California this happens a lot, if local historians document and keep information about their local surf breaks. But, you know, for Japan, I'm not really sure this is whether it's unique to Malibu or not, but the way this is being documented, I mean, I feel privileged to have seen it. Like this image here, those that have been and surfed Malibu will know that on the staircase going down to Malibu, this sign still exists today, even though it's very rusted out and faded. Let's keep bashing through. Here we go. Look, there's that looks like pots. Wow, amazing. Back in the day, some of the competitions. Look, that's the Maui Pro. So before it was the Quicksilver Pro, it was the Maui Pro in Japan, and then Quicksilver as the sponsor took it over, and it became the Quicksilver Pro. So it was even big world competitions before Quicksilver Pro. Some other things. This is obviously a t-shirt. Check out the skateboards. Is it beautiful? Look, these are obviously local posters that they made for the area, just showing how wonderful and fun it was back in the day. Some more surf competition photos. This is obviously talking about parking to get on the break. Like any surf break, parking is limited, but when the surf's pumping, everyone's desperate to get in the water, so they put up all these bollards, and they still exist today. And of course, if you do come here, please do not park illegally. There's lots of free parking in town. You just got to walk another 2 minutes. It's that simple. So this is just documenting about how to stop that. A great image here about beach cleaning. Another local gentleman called Tabata-san. This is Daisuke Takanashi, just talking about beach cleaning, how the local community still tries to beach clean. Local people discussing about the different breaks and things. So that's volume 1. Like, it's incredible, right? Amazing stuff. Remember, questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm sure there's a few people who will have a few. Volume 2. Let's get into this quickly and breeze through. Wow, this is some like super old. Just showing. I don't know how old this could be. 80, 90 years old. This photo. This photo here is even before Katsuura Fisherman's Wharf that is there right now. That's before that existed. It's just some local finds and things. Megane Rock, which is a local, very famous local spot, just across the bay. This volume seems to be a lot more on the history of the area.
And there's just some incredible old photos. I'm going to tell you guys, if one of the most amazing things that you can do is still collect postcards, and I suppose this is why I made my own postcards for the area, because it's a great way of remembering history. Of course, we can remember all that digitally and put it online and things like that, but there's nothing better than pulling out a postcard from the box. 60, 70, 80, 90 years later, and going like, wow, look at that and how it's changed. Right. Wow, Malibu, there's the reef sticking out on a low tide. It's amazing. There he is, Mr. Ohno Ken-ichi himself, and Surf Rider Foundation, just talking about the importance of keeping the area clean and the beach clean. Which is pretty amazing. There's Hebra local shrine. That's the one just across the road from Splash. Let's keep batting through the local area. We have a lot of festivals that are involved. Some beautiful seascapes. You guys, you can just use the pause button on YouTube for this if you want to look at the photos in more detail. Really going through again, look how he's highlighting the rubbish. Here's some great photos of Malibu itself, working really, really well. Again, don't park illegally. And so look at these old Japanese cars. Cool. Wow. Whoa, check out that one. How cool is that? Obviously there's a problem with trash washing up on the beach. There's the hats. I was lucky. Now these hats, they're not for sale. You can't get them. They're only distributed between the Malibu members. And I was lucky enough to receive this by Ohno Ken-ichi himself a few years back, and I was highly privileged to get it, and I still cherish it today. Thanks, Ken. Wow, the sun, if you've been in Japan long enough, the sun drive-in that used to be above the break of Hebra, above Sundora, as you drive into Hebra from the north. It used to be this drive-in like cafe. It's not there anymore. They pulled it all down. Just talking, the original biker boys of Japan. This goes a bit more into the history of the local area and why it's so famous, and how it was a U-boat station back in the day in World War I and II. Look at the shrines and the torii gates, the different buildings of different things. Wow, so much. And I think we're going to leave it there. So, wow. Guys, unbelievable. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I need a drink of water. Wow. So how do we wrap this up, folks? I think the best thing for me to do is just show you a few of the photos I've taken of Malibu and some of the video. Massive shout out to Ohno Ken-ichi-san for doing that amazing work as being an historian for the local wave. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the subscribe button down there. Remember, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks, guys. Cheers.